You're watching Your Turn. If it matters to you, it's important to us.
Our state, second in the nation in foreclosures. Some people just give up in frustration, give back the home, but others have decided to fight the proceedings with mixed results. There are companies out there promising to help you rescue your mortgage, but some of them, we warn you, are scams. They take your money and you lose your home anyway. Yet there are people who should fight their foreclosures, but how do you go about it? Has anybody ever really beat it? And who should you trust to help you? So, have you tried this? Are you considering fighting it? Email us at yourturn@wtvt.com. yourturn@wtvt.com. We'll get to as many of your comments on the air today as we can. Joining us, Greg Clark, an attorney in private practice in Pinellas County for 28 years with a specialty in real estate, mortgage, and title insurance law. And Daniel Rock is an attorney, has been representing consumer debtors for more than 20 years. He's past president of the West Pasco Bar Association. And both of our attorneys here today are working foreclosure defense cases right now on behalf of homeowners and other investors. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, should everybody fight a foreclosure, or are there just some people who are more eligible than others?
Well, it depends on what your objective is. Most people still need a roof over their heads, and at least temporarily they could prolong their right to possession until the foreclosure sale. But oftentimes we find out in defending these cases that more often than not they have legitimate defenses, and if they will just go to a responsible attorney and ask for an honest opinion, they'll get an honest answer.
What do you say, Greg? I mean, who should actually say, I want to fight this foreclosure?
Well, nearly everybody that I've come across so far should fight these things. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that if they walk away from the foreclosure and just let it go, that there's a deficiency judgment they may end up having to pay. It hasn't been a problem in the past because real estate values have always gone up, but we're in a very strange economic situation now where they've gone down, and they've gone down quite a bit.
So what is this deficiency?
A deficiency judgment is that after the foreclosure is over and uncontested, that the lender can come back and collect a separate judgment against the homeowner for the difference in value between the value of the collateral, which a lot of people right now are, I mean, they're underwater by 40–50%, and the amount the bank is owed. So that could come back to haunt them down the road as well. And there are defenses against that, but you've got to bring them up early in your case. So
you're saying, Greg, that everyone should fight their foreclosure. Does it have to be because a mortgage lender misled you and was fraudulent with you when you made the mortgage, or anybody who's in foreclosure has the ability to fight this? Well, everyone has the ability to fight this. There are some, I want to say, exceptional cases of fraud. I mean, it requires a leap to think that every lender is out there trying to lend money fraudulently. You'll have your exceptional cases as far as that is concerned, but you borrowed the money and you used it, and for the most part it was a fair transaction. But my concern mainly is a lot of these lenders don't even actually own the loan that they're suing on. They're suing in a proxy or a representative capacity, almost like the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, from the real actual investors of the property or the loan. And in Florida, everyone needs to understand that unless that person suing you actually owns that loan and has authority, and you end up being sued by a lender who's a proxy representative, and you end up, in essence, paying them either through a judgment or a deficiency judgment, you can still be sued by the actual owner of that loan. So when you say a proxy, are you talking about what we hear about when we hear about foreclosure mills? Is that what that is? What is a foreclosure mill?
A foreclosure mill is a law firm that engages primarily in foreclosure actions. One of the problems, and I don't want to use the word lender all the time, because more often than not, you're not dealing with who you borrowed the money from. You're dealing with a servicing company. When you sign a note and mortgage, you are agreeing that you will get certain service requirements by the service company. And oftentimes they forget that part of it. And they forget that they have an obligation to service the mortgage. And oftentimes, for example, I had a HUD mortgage foreclosure action last week where they completely ignored the fact that they were supposed to have a face-to-face meeting with the property owner and see if they couldn't do a workout. They hadn't even started it. So the judge said, I'm not going to order the foreclosure yet. We want to see if there's a possibility of a workout. That is costing the taxpayers money if they don't do those steps, because guess who? The government has to pay the loss.
Yeah. I mean, we hear every time we do a show on this, people call, email in and say, I've been trying to call my service provider. I've been trying to call my lender. They won't call me back. I want to do a workout. I want to do a modification. I can't even get the people on the phone.
That's a very typical response.
So is that a circumstance under which you should maybe take legal action and challenge the foreclosure if they won't sit down with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
So part of the goal, you said, what is the goal here? Part of the goal is that if they had a lower amount or this or that happened, they might be able to stay in the home?
Yes. I'll tell you, every time there's a foreclosure in your neighborhood, your property value has gone down. And it's almost like a domino effect. And you could be the most honest, on-time paying person in your neighborhood, and your property value just goes down because unscrupulous servicing companies will not work with the homeowners. Obama had a very good proposal that would have allowed people to reduce their mortgages and reduce their interest rates for a time being, and guess who stopped it up in Washington? The lenders.
If I might chime in just real quickly on Dan's point there, we actually have cases now where the lender is contributing to this situation of down values on homes, because they'll get to the point where they actually get their foreclosure judgment, and then the sale is set, usually 30 days. And come that 30th day, after the homeowner says, well, the gig is up, I got to move out, the lender cancels the sale. That lender canceling the foreclosure sale. I've got one case where they've done it 3 times. The judgment's almost a year old. The lender doesn't even want the property. In the meanwhile, they've scared the homeowner out of the property who would otherwise take care of it. And now the weeds are growing, the pool has got snakes and frogs in it. We got vandals doing God knows what inside and bringing down the other property values.
All right, we'll take a break and talk with our 2 attorneys today about how to go about. You're saying that most people would be within their rights and maybe obligation to go ahead and challenge this foreclosure. How do you go about it? What do you do? We'll be right back.